Hey everyone, this is Upstory Unfiltered. Still working on the name right now. Trying to figure out, we thought about Unfiltered, but like our company name is Upstory. I think we're just going to call it Upstory for now. But basically, what we do here is we talk about all the different apps that we use, we come across, ones we use on a daily basis, but also ones that we come across that we find interesting, and hopefully give some cool feedback, direction. But really, ultimately, it's just an unfiltered conversation between product designers and people who really have a love for building apps. And so I'm Rick. I am a product designer and the founder of Upstory. We're a small product design team. We just have fun making great products with our friends and our clients. We've worked with small startups all the way up to companies with millions and millions of users. And let me introduce the rest of my team. So this is Daniel.
Yep, Daniel, senior designer here at Upstory. Been designing for about 10 years, mainly focusing on helping companies raise millions and millions of dollars through design business.
Awesome. And then we also have Nash.
What's up, everybody? I am Nash Falk. I'm a growth consultant working with various size companies across the spectrum, and I am happy to be here, as always.
Very cool. So what do we have today?
Today, we have Tango.us.
All
I just
right.
ran across Tango in my comings and goings, and yeah, I think that's a good place to start. Daniel, I think you have a little more info about just what they do specifically.
Tango.us. So basically, yeah,
Tango. Oh, very
how-to
good.
guides. Was using it actually a little bit, just trying to test it out, test the waters, see how it goes. Um, it's pretty cool, pretty good. I feel like there's some UI interactions that are pretty nice. Onboarding does a pretty good job taking you through the steps. I think what we like to do here is pretty much go through as a new user, walk through our thought processes, try to figure out what y'all's business goals are, and then just try to give some unfiltered feedback. Maybe some of it will be helpful, some things y'all are probably working on already. Um, but yeah, hoping we can provide some solid feedback, some critique, and something usable for y'all to hand over to the team.
Awesome. So here we are. I've loaded it up. You've primed me with very little, but essentially Tango says it right here. Create how-to guides by doing the process. I love that idea because right from the start, I've built these onboardings so many times for so many different things, and it's always a struggle to get it done. So the idea of what I'm seeing here, it looks like it kind of it says right here, you do the process, right? I'm hoping the experience I would expect when I look at this landing page is that I'm hoping I can literally walk through an onboarding. You're going to kind of record, you're going to follow my experience, and then make it easy for me to create this step-by-step guide from that. So let's see how my expectation matches with what it actually is. So I'm going to go ahead,
No,
click the big button, install free extension, see what happens. All right, add to Chrome. Yes, add extension. All right, continue with Google. Okay, so far clean. I'm assuming the extension was installed. Let's see here. How will you use Tango? So this is, I'm sure they're getting information on their side. I'm going to say onboard new hires. Me as a product designer, I want something rolling out new software. In fact, I'm just going to start there. I'm just going to say rolling out new or updated software. So I continue. What do you do? Let's see here. Marketing product. Woohoo!
almost done.
Yep. You can document in Figma. That's interesting. I thought, Daniel, I thought you were saying you like do it in a tab or something like that. So I'm interested to see how this works. So let's use Figma as a reference. I opened up a tab here of a project we were working on just as a reference point. And let's see here. How did I find you? I'm going to say something else. Word of mouth. There we go. From Nash. Thanks, Nash. Join Daniel from your team. Look at that. I already found Daniel. That's pretty sweet. All right, I'll hit join. I don't need a new workspace. What is this? All right,
So
capture
this
your first
is the
Tango.
onboarding. It kind of takes you right straight through it. It's nice, clean visuals. Some animation going on. Feels pretty polished to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty clean. If I'm gonna really nitpick, I'd say it's a little bit. There's a little bit of a lack of contrast here, and I know that they're trying to focus on the actions you're taking. I feel like maybe the detail on the page could be slightly less, so that you had a little bit more focal point here. But still, I think it's great. Let's try it out. Oh, so it already did this Spark survey. Click through the demonstration survey to watch Tango on. Okay, that's pretty sweet. So you guys, this is awesome. They're doing.
I'm trying to hear your clean thoughts, your thought process.
Yeah.
I want the exact same thing.
Right. I mean, this is like meta, right? They're doing the onboarding by literally having you capture the onboarding. That's pretty sick. I like it. So I'm curious.
Clever move.
No, I'm somebody who likes to click around and like do this sort of thing a lot, which probably not the most useful. Yeah, see, that's pretty sweet. Okay, so click on Spark Survey. No, we're not going to do any of those. We're going to delete those actions.
But it also kind of gives you like how that app like captures things. Like it's like a double. Even if you click around, you realize, oh shoot.
Yeah.
Everything I do.
No, this is well done. Like I said, this is a real problem, and sometimes it's really time consuming. So this is great. He had a superpower, man. See, now we're gonna get caught up on this because I don't know what superpower I'd rather have. What would you guys rather have?
They don't even have the spider webs.
Oh man, where's the write-in? Come on, writing how-to guides, clever. All right, let's just jump into one. Let's say flight. I like flight. See, it says select flight, so we're going to see if I can edit that option. Oh, this is my first bummer I've experienced right here. I want to be able to edit this right here. Like, click on next, and it says select flight. I would love for this to say select an option, or you know what I mean? And so maybe that happens later, but like during the onboarding, I know they're just kind of walking you through the product, but I'd love for it to just give you a little bit more detail here to say, maybe I want to edit this. So let's go. Keep going. What could you use a little more of?
It'll go back to the previous page or where the previous action was taken.
Doesn't look.
Because I'm thinking, how are they? This example, it's a questionnaire, but then like any other example, it would be hard to know like what you're actually clicking.
Yeah. So let's see here. What could you use a little more of? Time. Oh, notice that I clicked here, and it clicked next to it.
Oh, kind of new, huh?
Yeah. Also, if I click something over and over again, it doesn't add a step, which I'm sure that's something engineering has spent a lot of time thinking about. Real time captured like magic. Yeah, I agree. It's like magic. It's pretty great. Submit.
Yeah.
Aha. No, that's clever.
It's pretty good. There it is.
There's the confetti.
I missed.
Yeah. Your first Tango capture. Boom. Oh, and there we go. We go right into, all right, now my first complaint, right, was I can't edit any of this. So now I go here and I say select and option. You can add a description. We chose flight, but you can.
I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? There's a part of me that wonders, like maybe we wanted that. Like I want that during the onboarding.
Like in real time.
Mm-hmm. But I also
if you're doing like a 20-minute like guide, and then you have to remember to go back. Like
right.
I want to edit again.
Yeah, I mean, there's also something to be said for maybe it's a very conscious decision, and whenever we do these videos, I do feel like sometimes there are conscious decisions where they've actually gone back and forth on whether they want this, and
Yeah.
it's possible it's a conscious decision that they're like, no, 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 the quickest way is for someone to go through the whole onboarding and then later go and edit, because if you edit while you're going, you get stuck, you get paused, you get timeouts, you get all sorts of issues in the app. So there's possibility that it might be something related to that.
That's fair. And I'm sure one of their metrics is like how fast or how thorough a survey or a guide is to completion. If
Yeah.
you stop halfway through, it's like a really bad experience.
Right. Curious, this is an interesting way of loading these images, how it just kind of
Yeah.
zooms up like that. It's kind of cool. All right, so it really wants me to do this. Take this Tango for a spin. Let's do it. Oh, look at that. But you can what? Oh, bummer. Ah, see, I wish I would have known that. There's another, some of these are small things, but like I wish I would have known that that text was going to get cut off there.
Mm.
All right, I'm going to choose telepathy. Select an option. Oh, we got an issue here. Our onboarding is covering up the data.
Yeah.
Add a comment. Okay, so I can add a comment to say onboarding is covering up the options. Oh, you know what's going on? Here's what's going on. We never got to the next step. We broke the the tool. Yeah, we're still on flight. See that?
Oh.
I have to actually click here.
Hmm.
Oh, you can't go out of the.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, that's interesting. So select an option. We definitely, another comment here is like just learning how to use it, right? So
Yeah, that's true.
you have to click inside the box or it doesn't move forward. Which, I mean, is probably a sane restriction. Like, hey, if you don't do the thing it says to do, it doesn't let you move forward. I can see where this could be potentially problematic in something like this. We have A, B, C, D, E. It's like you want them to move forward, but you may not. Yeah. So now we got. All right. Now we can go check time. Click on next. Select 5. Submit. Well done.
Yeah. You have to go through what the guide says.
Yeah. Oh, I got stuck.
So this would be for products that have a very clear steps and there's no subjectivity to it, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean that's my first question when I go through this is okay, you built a pretty decent onboarding and kudos to the engineering team for getting it to this point. Side note, this is actually something that I was working on building a version of this probably about 10 years ago. We put up some initial designs. We worked with a developer to start working on it, and it got pushed off to the wayside, and we never built it. But it's funny seeing someone build this now. It's like some of the things that they did similarly, some of the things they did differently. Tangos are meant to be shared. Here we go. Share and export. Don't show this again. Yeah, my classic is going to be... Don't want to share it. Don't show this again. Oh, if I do that though, let's just hit continue. Okay, I see.
You shared me.
By email. Embed. That's what I'm interested in. Is where can I embed this? Can I embed this on top of my app?
Any other?
Let's just see.
Oh.
Oh.
Cool.
Oh, it's an iframe. All right, so let's just do this. How about I just want a link?
Oh, click on the Notion one.
Invite by email. Copy link. Here we go. Oh,
Open it in the incognito one.
Yeah, can I do that though? You guys can't see this, but I can see it. I'm going to do it real quick and see what it looks like.
Okay.
Oh, it still says your first Tango capture. Oh yeah, it's the same. It's the same here.
Okay.
Yeah, the only difference is I'm signed in here. Interesting. So, it guide me. What does that
And
do?
then if you click Tango, click home, you'll see like the click Tango. Yeah, click Tango. You'll see this is the actual home like dashboard.
Yeah, yeah. So I've done
Yeah,
lots of
you went
things. I
through it.
didn't pin the
You're
extension.
officially a user.
I'm officially a user. No, I've definitely. I need to understand this app and like its position a little better. I've done that. Woohoo! Done. Like in my head, this was a product onboarding, but I'm realizing it's actually more like e-learning. In my head, this was like add this to your app.
Interesting.
So now, as I see it a little bit differently, let's come back to that initial like, what is it? Create how-to guides by doing the process. Digital adoption. It's actually easy to adopt. That's actually easy to adopt. So this is create software how-to guides. Turn guides into interactive walkthroughs. Get answers without searching. Yeah, I'm a little curious to see how that works then with, like I said, if I was the owner, let's use this LifeMD, right? So we have this LifeMD app. Let's go ahead and just do a real brief one.
Yeah, I think I see where you're getting at. Like, who is the actual user making this for?
Yeah. Let's just say that was the end of the steps, right? No. Let's go one more step here.
What happens if you don't put the testing 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, let's find out. So we built our onboarding here. Click on agree and continue. Great. We'll say that's good. I'm gonna check that overflow text. What happens to text when it gets really long? Can we update this so that I know it's going to go to 2 lines? All right. Click on health and wellness. Click on allergies. Type testing 1, 2, 3. Ha! It does. Next. All right. So they really want me to share it. I don't want you to show that again. So I'm going to hit continue. So now we've got our onboarding. I'm going to copy the link. See what this looks like. So this is really just like a... It's more, to me, feels like it's positioned for training. And I was thinking it was more positioned for like end user onboarding.
Yeah, same.
But now it feels like, and ironically, LifeMD, so I picked them. So one of our clients that we work with, they have an internal training team that does exactly this, but they do it all manually. And so I see this, I'm like, yeah, this could actually be really useful for them. We'd have to make some modifications to how it works, I think, but this could be useful for them. What I don't see here, and maybe I'm missing something in the product, is I don't see a way for this to turn into a product onboarding. Like I think about, what is it, intro.js, which is kind of an older one, but these product onboardings that layer over the top of your screen. I feel like they have all the tech here to do that. It's just a matter of adjusting it to make it make sense there.
Well, would you need it for, I guess, I was going to say, is it really necessary for product onboarding? Like that onboarding typically is made so you can do it without what Tango made us go through. It'll be a great experience. Onboardings are typically like, you should be able to go through it intuitively. So I feel like it makes sense to me that they're targeting instructional people over like product onboarding.
Yeah, and quite honestly, it's probably a bigger market anyway. I mean, product onboarding, it's more like I'm interested in that because I think that there are certain products that, yeah, you know, you look at a Figma or a Photoshop, they'll do some sort of onboarding like this.
That's fair.
Because it's a big product that just has a lot going on there.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. Most, you know, a lot of products, your onboarding is just a pretty simple, like walk you through the features and tell you what they are. It's not so much like, hey, look here and press this and do this and do that.
Yeah.
But there are, you know, the way Tango did it with their app, I think works really well. And I'd like to take that and use that with my app. And maybe I'm misunderstanding something, but it doesn't look like I can. So let's go back to the user set. So, and for me, I'm kind of reframing this now. Let's go back to the user. Likely the user set they have is much more maybe instructional designers and people who are basically internally, like LifeMD is a great example. So they have people internally who are in charge of taking the processes that the company has and basically training this staff on, hey, how do we do this? Or how do I teach the patient to do this? And I think something like this could work really well for them. Definitely feel like there are a couple of bits of low hanging fruit for them, and just, you know, simple things like, as we look at it, oh, you know, this description text is too long, and I didn't know it was going to get cut to 2 lines, which means that half the people will only ever read this much.
Yeah.
And
I feel like
go ahead.
Sorry, cut in. I feel like in the lens of LifeMD, I guess, or someone similar, if you're going through this like how-to guide and then midway through you need to send an email, I feel like would be like an important step that Tango wouldn't be able to capture. It seems like,
Right.
If you're all within product, and then you're like, oh, at this point, you know, send a fax if you're like in healthcare, you know.
Right.
When it'd be cool to inject like a manual step saying like, this is off platform, but at this point, call XYZ, or like reach out to XYZ. But yeah, maybe having that, maybe it is, maybe we just weren't thinking about it, but have this in the actual like experience when you're starting out, you know. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and you're right though. That there's something like that. It needs to be able to be essentially multimodal. Like it can't just capture a single place. And you can add screenshots here. So I mean, I think it does a pretty good job being flexible. Comments are. I'm assuming the comments are internal only, but like, this is good. Change link. What is this? Oh, okay. So right, because in some cases there won't be a link for what that page is. So that's kind of interesting. Wait. Oh, I did it in the wrong one. No, I didn't. Never mind. We're good. Side note, is this number, are these numbers the right font? Or do I just have the font missing on my computer? They feel like they stick out kind of in an odd way.
Yeah, it's a different font for sure.
Yeah, but the serif font, it just almost looks like it's just trying to be Times New Roman. It just doesn't look. I know this is a super, you know, nitpicky detail, but like the numbers have bothered me this whole time looking at these. Like, they're not different enough or unique enough to feel like a purposeful change.
It's a little funky.
Yeah. Small details. If you build it,
I think what would be super helpful is if there was a way for this how-to guide to make itself better. Either through like people going through it and being able to edit the process to make it better. Kind of thinking out loud here, but then what I'm really thinking about is making this better at scale. So there's going to be like, for example, hundreds of people going through this how-to guide. There might be certain areas where it will be better to do it this way instead, and you make like that update.
Yeah.
What comes up next, we'll have a better version of the how-to guide, and kind of do that more autonomously versus manually.
No, I think you're right. If someone does this guide me, for an example, and they get to this page and they click cancel appointment, they're kind of stuck. I don't know how to move forward. Okay, now there's this mark completed. Okay. But, like you're saying, so maybe if I click on this, okay, that shows the image. I don't know how to get back now. Okay. I have to go back. So I can continue, but it's a little bit esoteric how to do that. And I think what you're saying is like if people are clicking around and they're not doing what you've asked them to do, you can kind of take those as signals that, hey, we got a problem here, and probably use those in the app to help make that better.
Yeah.
Reach out. So click agree and continue. Oh, miss my select category. Oh, for some reason this got pushed in the wrong side. Oh, that's reach out to XYZ. Yeah. Mark is completed. So now we click here. Click here.
Oh, you have to type out testing 1, 2, 3.
Oh, look at that. It says there's a next thing here.
Maybe try.
That's pretty good.
Oh, you can't. But okay.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Curious what this sharing link work brings me. Okay, back here. Yeah, I'm also interested in the default setting. So you guys have noticed this, but the default setting is not the guided process. It's the step. Like click on this, now click on this, now do this. I'm curious. I'm sure there's a lot of thought brought in, in why that might be the default setting. In my mind, like this feels like this is the default setting I want. I want to do it inside the app.
Yeah, like at that point, then it seems like you have to have one window showing you how to do it on one side, and the new window of the actual app going through. You have to kind of go like left, right, trying to see both.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think like you're saying though, I think there's some low-hanging fruit, but also some larger discussions, ideas on, how can you take this to the next level, and the idea of maybe taking this and becoming a little bit of a learning platform, learning itself, could potentially help them take it from where it is to, hey, your onboarding is no longer working, and start like having signals, like tracking where the onboarding is working and where people fall off, and where people are clicking out and not clicking into the same steps or the proper steps. Yeah, I mean, I think there's the other thing I would say is just thinking through it from a perspective of, okay, you have people clicking outside of steps, but is there a way to create steps that give people options? Because almost every onboarding in the world, like I'm going to go continue through this, or not onboarding, almost every app in the world, there's going to be a place where you want to click something different than, they might have said. Like, tell me to click first, last name, email, phone number is not super useful for me, because of course that's what I have to do. And so there's, the idea of steps kind of allowing you a little bit more flexibility could be pretty useful. And I'm not quite seeing how that does that here.
Yeah, I feel like maybe they almost went for, I guess the simplicity is nice, but then it's almost too simple.
Yeah.
Every step, it'd be cool if there was like a floating modal or something where I can select and choose what I want to do for this specific page. So it's like an input box to click here, or maybe I'll like have a sticky note on the page to like brief instructions on what to expect on this page. But like maybe we can have them like explore this page, like the text box will be like, take a minute and explore this page, and then when you're done, click on this button.
Yeah, and I wonder how much it could do that, because I'm just kind of going on here and thinking like this reach out to XYZ step kind of had that, and it said you have to click to the next step, but I think it's not quite as clear as I would want it to be. But no, I mean, as a whole, this is a great app. I mean, even as it is right now, it's to the point of, I'm definitely, LifeMD is like I mentioned, a client of ours. I'm definitely going to bring it up to them and say, hey, take a look at this. See what you guys think. See if this might be useful
Useful.
For the team. But beyond that, I also think there's some opportunity here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think same. Great job. I think especially from non-user to user, I think it was pretty good at getting me in.
yeah. That's great. We haven't even really explored any of this, but I think ultimately we're looking at the main workflow. Looks like there's okay, my workspace Upstory.
Yeah.
And the thing is, most of their users probably won't explore a lot of this stuff. They're just going to go right into creating content.
Yeah.
I can imagine a lot of users could get pretty detailed and start having 100 tangos. And so I'm glad they have this folder, the view options of updated, view as lists. Like those are all useful. Cool. Any other thoughts, guys? Nash?
Well, I'm just curious how people are doing this today.
Yeah, I mean there are apps out there that do it really manually. It's like you write in the step, you create a screenshot, and you manually put a button around, a circle around a button. It's a lot slower. So this is, I know there are apps out there, and I haven't really done a review of them, but I'm sure there are other competitors to Tango that are doing something fairly similar. It's the fact that I was working on something like this 10 years ago tells me someone in the last 10 years has to have tried doing this. But I think Tango's got it pretty close here. Yeah. There's that font, by the way. When you put it up here, it's fine, but when you use it in the numbers, it's just...
I was about to say, it's coming back to haunt you.
Yeah. Nice. Any other thoughts?
Cool. No, that's it for me.
Awesome. Yeah, so summary. It's great. I like it a lot. Like I said, I'm probably going to recommend this to some of my clients, at least for kind of internal onboarding or just training. I also think there's some opportunity to look at this as a play for product teams. Maybe that's not as big of a market, but it's definitely another vertical for them. And then I think some small low hanging fruit in a couple of the steps and the way that those work could be cleaned up a little bit. And then also the idea of making this a little bit more of a learning, self learning platform. I think that's a next step that this could go, like you're saying, Daniel, where it continually makes itself better. It doesn't even need to do it automatically, but it can kind of alert you of all the places where your users fall down and don't quite understand. Man, I think that would take this to the next level. Now it's not this one to many relationship. It's this kind of back and forth conversation, and it kind of becomes something new. And that to me could take this away from being just your kind of run-of-the-mill training app. Because like I said, I think there are a lot of companies out there who have to be doing something similar. And I haven't done enough research to know where, what Tango's competitors might be. But if you did something like that with the learning, that to me is a big moat. Like suddenly now this becomes a much more sticky training platform where now your training becomes better over time. Your users like it more because they get their feedback as part of, it continually gets better. So I think there's some opportunity there. That's the bigger, like, pie in the sky thinking of where these guys could go.
Yeah, for sure. Pie in the sky. Yeah,
Awesome.
I would say the same. Low-hanging fruits, just the actual experience for power users where, like, you're on a certain page and you want to have, like, a couple of different things you might want to do. Like, more than just click something, like, click this, go here, like, take a second, look at this page, and, like, what do you see? What do you see first? Things like that. Just kind of broaden the options of what you can do step by step. It's probably the lowest hanging fruit, I would say. And then, yeah, meta-wise, it's just like, how can you make this how to guide, make itself better through the team, through repetitive use, scale.
Yeah.
And Rick, can you check really quickly the upgrade button? I'm just curious how they price.
Oh yeah, that's a really good question. Unlimited custom branding. I was going to get to that. I was hoping, yeah, you can do this as, this is the LifeMD branded training app.
Nice.
Desktop app, okay. Privacy. Oh, the blurring is, okay, cool.
Oh, they do have analytics.
Yeah, that's cool.
See.
So we've already started down that path.
Yeah.
$20 a month per user. Okay.
Interesting. Reminds me a lot of Loom. Very Loomy, but more structured. Because I'm sure people are using Loom for this, but you just get Nash on it, or somebody. Just so this is really smart.
Yeah. No, I can see it. Awesome. No, this is cool. I love this. I think, like I said, there's some cool opportunity out there. I don't know what they're doing with the learning, or not learning, but what do they call it? The analytics and insights. I think we could take that though. This doesn't say much about like the learning process of that, and I think you could take that and supercharge it. Yeah, very good. I like it. Cool. That's all I have. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.